Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 4:30 Pacific time. If the chimes get too much, let me know. I'm trying to give you something with the nothing. Sounds good, eh? Yeah. But if it's too much, if it's distracting you from getting the message, I'll put them louder. Actually, that would be the point. So, yeah. Actually, it's pretty loud. I can't hear myself. Yeah, so if you've been here before, if you haven't, let me know so I can pray that you never come back. Please rid yourself of this desire to achieve something you already are. It's not your desire anyway. So, the non-duality, how we're expressing it is, there is no non-duality meaning, obviously. Yeah. Non-duality is a statement of negation of something that isn't so, but it sure appears to be so to us, which is duality. Yeah. Why it appears to be true to us, because us is a dualistic expression. So what non-duality is a negation of that. And then you find out what you'll find out. If you start loading up with descriptions of the indescribable, it's just more trees that have to get cut. You might as well just leave it alone. Just realize it's indescribable, bing, incomprehensible, bing, unknowable, bing, and we're included in that. It's unknowable to us, incomprehensible, just a freaking mystery, let's say. But the mental activity is not a mystery. It isn't. It's running in plain sight. All you may need is an understanding, sort of like a pair of glasses. You put them on, and hopefully the understanding of non-duality will bring up the misunderstanding of duality. Yeah. Not that you're misunderstanding duality, but duality produces misunderstandings. Yeah. So when there's an action noticed, you believe there has to be a doer. Yeah. It can't be a verb cannot be left alone. It has to be attached to a noun. And the weird thing is, it wouldn't be so bad if the verbs were in their rightful place, which is verbing, and then in time there's an idea of a noun. But in this little trick, the noun gets presupposed to be before the verb. What the hell? So now you're feeling like you're doing a lot of stuff you really had nothing to do with. Absolutely nothing. And so there's a tricky thing. I was just checking it out. This is sort of the identification as this long-lasting, independent, separate entity, but there's no one that's identified with the long-lasting, independent, separate entity. Yeah, there's just an identification as the long-lasting, independent, separate entity. There is no long-lasting, independent, separate entity that's identified with the idea of a long-lasting, independent, separate entity. So we don't even like to use the word self, but in recovery, self is used to indicate a lot of the source of the dilemma or the problem. But it's really selfing. It's an activity, just like everything else is. It's an activity that, when listened to in a certain manner, it suggests an imagery of that activity as something that's being done to or is doing something. Yeah, so selfing is just pure verbing. It's the act of being identified as self. It's not like the verb part is the act of being identified as, and then self's the noun. No, it's a whole verb. The act of being identified as self. There is no you lingering in the background, choosing or leaning in volition to identify with it. It's none of that. Yeah, that which you're. There's an identification which thinks that way. Yeah. There's an identification with an activity that thinks exactly that way. Is that if there's an identification, there's someone that's identified. No, there's just an identification as a someone. Do you see it? Hopefully. Yeah, just give me a nod, a little sign to continue on. Yeah. Because it's the understanding is like a pair of glasses. You're seeing now, but how you're seeing seemingly, or what you're looking through, is causing the seeing to be severely boxed and defined. And basically you can't look out of the system. Yeah. So it's like the story, we said it many times because it works well, I think, as an imagery where that large camera that has all these qualities looks into this small plastic lens camera, and while looking in, it appears, it's not true, but it appears that it has forgotten its largeness and now assumes it to be the small camera it's looking through. Of course, that life of a large camera looking through a small camera as a small camera is probably going to produce a little irritable restlessness, discontent, some kind of itch that you don't seem to know exactly where it's coming from, but it feels like something's off. And so what happens is the best you can do, thinking completely that you're the small camera, is to try to improve the small camera. Yeah. So some of us, unfortunately or fortunately, spend a lot of money buying like Nikon lenses to improve the small camera, not realizing that which comes after the plastic lens is going to be defined by the plastic lens. In other words, the new lenses you're putting on the plastic lens aren't going to change the way the plastic lens works. Yeah, you're just kind of... So please save yourself some time. Seriously. I don't care how much you polish it. You can't polish plastic. It doesn't go well. The more you polish it, the more opaque and but hey, go ahead, if you want to learn that way. Who am I to stop you? Really. I learned something in recovery, which is you do someone a disservice by keeping them from their bottom. So I hope you have a spiritual bottom, because no one's going to break into this meeting and intervene on you. They're not. Yeah. You're not going to have a family intervention. Probably not. Like they do with alcoholics and addicts that have it's been too much, and then people just put a stop to it. All right, we're taking you to the hospital. We're putting you away. We're spending $30,000 sending you to Minnesota. But here it doesn't happen. Yeah. They'll gladly take your application for the 35th retreat. They will. Yeah. They won't send your money. They probably will not send your money back. Listen, you could use this money for better purposes. But this is what happens. So here, the story we used to always use is the lion and the sheep. You understand it. So the moment that things change is the lion, a young lion, due to circumstances, seemingly has forgotten what it is and acquired an identification as a sheep. Yeah. And it's trying to do the best sheep impersonation it can do. It even marries another sheep. The kids look a little strange, but they rationalize it away. And it goes on and on and on and on. It's got hair permed, you know what I mean? It's not, those fangs aren't good for chewing cud, but he's doing the best he can. And, he's just living with, has a very small possibility. I'm a sheep, and, how far can I go? And then of course, an old lion comes in and takes the sheep to a waterhole and shows it their reflection. And obviously the young lion gets it. Bammo. It sees the old lion. Hey, I look exactly like that. I must be a lion. Except he had curly hair, but the lion structure was there. And then the lion goes roar. It doesn't have to think about signing up for roaring lessons. It just roars because it's of its nature. Yep. But this is the dilemma I saw in my own pursuit of trying to stabilize that imagery in the waterhole. Is when there was a moving away from the waterhole and I wasn't like attached to the hip to the old lion, I was left to my own devices. It was very quick that my mental process, which was sheep formed, identified as a sheep that had an experience of being a lion. Yeah, there it went. So the information that had been in that reflection was neutered by the claiming of that reflection as an experience the sheep had. And now the sheep, it makes it worse for the sheep to live as a sheep because it believes it could have lived like a lion. Now it's worse that it ever even saw its original face. Yeah. So the point is to see the mental processes that have you running around in circles trying to arrive at where you already are. Yeah. That which saw the reflection in the mirror, in the water, didn't lose the sheep's reflection at that moment. It never had a sheep reflection. Yeah? It was a lion from the get-go. It never was a sheep. And being more a sheep isn't going to change that. Oh, I was a sheep for 30 years. It doesn't mean a damn thing. Just like if you have a dream at night, it's an epic dream. Of course, every dream you're in is probably epic, but there's an epic dream, and you've 330 different lives and shit like that went on for 400 years, and the next night you have a dream of a 5-second gulp of a Slurpee. How long does it take to wake up from both dreams? One is like 300 years dreaming, at least a couple hours. I mean, at least 3 days. And then 5 seconds should be 5 seconds. No, time has nothing to do with it. Time has nothing to do with it. You can believe you've been out to lunch for 300 years. It doesn't mean a difference. No difference if you believe you're out of touch for a second. It's the same. Yeah? Time is not relevant unless we make it relevant. And in what we are, it has no relevance. Yeah. So I found, I'd write the book maybe, let's bring us all to the pond. But really the importance is what happens is when you leave the pond, because the head kicks in and tells you a story. And you're so used to living in that glove, you think you're in the glove when you're out of the glove. You can't recognize it. You think you're in it when you're actually out of it. Yeah? So this seemed to be important to the point that whatever is dictating me to share these things stopped me and basically said, you don't need to leave this point, because if you don't see this point, you're going to be looking from it. You are, yeah? And a peak experience may not tip the scales. An epiphany or 13 in a row may not do it, because the mental state is pretty damn resilient. It's going to arise. If you find yourself in heaven, it says it's you that's there. Yeah? It's going to appear in heaven and go, hey, you made it. Yeah? Enlightenment, there it will be. What? Yeah. Because you're not in a process of enlightenment. You are enlightened, but you're asleep to that fact, really. Yeah? So what is it? Do you want that which is asleep to wake up? No, just recognize what's asleep isn't you. It's better, tell you the truth. If it signs up for the waking up, it sucks even more. Then you got to live with lack of perfection, and you should have been enlightened already, or whatever insane thing it does. Yeah? So it's better, let it stay asleep, really. Let it think it's the center of the universe. It's great. It's like, here's someone thinking it's the center of the universe, and it's the one square out of the 12 squares, yeah? Now, no matter how much it's saying, and with how much certainty, assurance it's saying it's the center of it, you've got 11 empty squares denouncing it, yeah? You know what I mean? You can see it. I'm not that. Yeah. I think I've spoken today 3 hours already on this, yeah. I hope this assists you to see the misunderstandings that all of your journeys are launched on. Yeah. I want to see how you get into that pool of incessant searching. Yeah. The diving board is this. Boom, boom. Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you want, if you find this helps, God forbid, but if you do, Zen Bits has tons of stuff there, and a lot of people want to talk to me one to one. Much better to get this. This is the best of Paul Hedderman, really, literally, because this isn't a personal question. It's completely impersonal. Yeah, you are or you're not, in a sense. Yeah, you can appear to be not and be what you are. The appearance of what you're not does not change the fact of what you are. Yeah. What you are, being seemingly awake to that, will change the fact of what you're not. It will. That's definitely, that's true. Yeah. And there'll be a loss of interest in it. Yeah. A loss of interest in a lot of stuff. And that interest is going to go, who knows, let's say to the universal bank, and it's going to get redistributed. And you'll find out about the tree by the fruit. You'll just recognize, wait a minute, I travel a lot lighter. Yeah. Through some heavy topics such as this. Really. Yeah. Before, this would just whip up the seeking. Now I'm totally dead to it. It's great. I don't have, if you took a blood sample, I show no signs of spiritual interest. 0.000. Yeah. And I'm not looking for any infusions either. Yeah. So there you go. If you have any questions, I truly believe in these talks, we're not, the only understanding I would like to see you have is that you can't get it. That would be helpful, really. I mean, and put it to rest. No matter how slick you get, you're not getting it. It's impossible. Yeah, that wouldn't fit the definition of non-duality. That would be an expression of duality, that you got it. Yeah. So, yeah. It's great. It's a relief, man, because when you leave the thief world of the self, the selfing, and enter the policeman world, perfection comes in, and you're never going to measure up. And people you thought have gone to less meetings have woken up before you, and all this fucking shit. And the head is going to use enlightenment as another bludgeoning tool. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Most of us would have been much happier if we never heard the word awakening. It would have just relieved us of a lot of stuff. Yeah, but we walked into it.
Hey, Paul, Stuart has his hand up.
Ooh.
Stuart.
All right.
Hey, Paul. G'day, Paul. How are you going?
Hey, Stuart. How are you? Thank God you're
good.
Stuart.
Pardon?
I'm happy you're from Oz.
Yes, yeah. I thought I'd give you a break from talking, but that's why I got my hand up.
If you were Stuart from Des Moines, I would have been really upset.
Okay. I do have a question. Oh, it's not a question. It's just, so I feel life is happening, and that's pretty good, or happening. And certainly traveling lighter. It's a bit more spacious, which is good. But sometimes it seems like, for whatever reason, I'll say something, and I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but it seems to get a reaction that I really don't want it to have, and then I'm seemingly in the court of you've said the wrong thing, but it just comes out. I don't know what it is.
Well, the last part you can just look at. You said the wrong thing. The wrong thing had been said, but you didn't do it.
Yes. Yeah.
So at least you need to sort of puncture a hole in the language balloon, at least, because it just keeps reinforcing the idea that you're the doer. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least you can, being almost like a strainer. You don't have to go for the fine shit, but you get it if the big lima bean gets caught. Yeah, it's good to stop that.
Yes. Yeah. But there just seems to be like an increased sense of sensitivity or something.
Yeah, sure. That can happen. Yeah, if the instrument isn't completely, being electrocuted every half hour through what's not happening, yeah,
Ah.
sensitivity starts coming back. Yeah. Most
Yeah.
people are under their own electrocution. Yes. The
Yeah.
mental state is mimicking the physiological and, let's say, nervous effects of fear. Just
Yes.
buzzing you all day,
Yep. Yep.
keeping you going to the right trough.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Yeah.
So now that's when that stops, that diminishes, things can come out, like uh your whole garden, the only thing that can survive it is weeds. Now some nice exotic flowers can show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely happening for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a nice HD experience. The audio quality goes up. Your
Yes.
your sentence get heightened. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
you taste food after a talk, it's unbelievable. And
Yeah.
these things, yeah, because like the turtle, there's no threat, so the turtle's head can come out. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is what
Yeah.
happens with alcoholism and addiction. The one value about recovery and time is that a lot of shit ain't gonna come out if it's not safe. Yeah, so
Yeah.
when people keep drama going and fucking all this shit, it's a way that the system's holding back the shit it doesn't want to look at. So when you get chilled out and things are okay, that stuff can come up, and basically it's a reclamation of a lot of office space or a lot of storage space. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're in a drama and excitement and arguing and everything all day, every day, it's not, why would it come up? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no
So,
room there for it. Yeah.
so that's part of the traveling lighter is a lot of the dead space gets reclaimed. It's not you, but it's an expression of what you call you here, and you travel lighter and larger. Yeah. And I don't mean in big arenas or big stages, but where you are, it's very large. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So would that be like, okay, well, all care is taken, but no responsibility in the sense of, if I blab something out and it's a bit inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're accountable. It's like if my dog shits on the neighbor's lawn. Yeah, I'm accountable, but I didn't take that shit.
Yeah. 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 No, it's good.
Well, you have to see why one of the strongest holds of the mental activity is the sense of being the doer.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, it will be confronted with tons of evidence to the contrary, and it'll just keep resubmitting that I did it, you did it, you did it. Yeah. You're not going to convince the action figure otherwise. You just got to see it's not you. So
Yeah.
when that feeling of cringe that may be incited, you're still not cringing. You're that space. Yeah. So you start seeing the action figure going through embarrassment or discomfort, but you're not embarrassed or contracted. Yes.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I'm not waiting for the action figure to get it. I left that a long time ago. The action figure's got its little growth and ceiling, and it's not a artificial intelligence. It's a programming. It doesn't evolve. Yeah, it's just it's looking for ease and comfort.
I think after 70 years, poor mine has peaked out.
Yes. Yeah, speak out. Exactly. I'm right with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
We
done
did
its
it the other
best, but
day. We're having a satsang, a live one, and it was cold.
Mm,
Everyone's, I'm not a body, I'm not this, but everyone's fucking freezing. Let's quit.
yeah.
Let's stop the meeting. Give me
Yeah.
a sweater. Shit. Oh yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing was about the body. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then but the only thing that says wants to not be a body is a body.
Yes. Yes. Yep. And it's constant.
It's crazy, man. It's funny, yeah. This is the word of God, but we got to cut it short. We need a sweater.
That's the way it goes. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's ironic, the whole thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a grand joke, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you, Paul, and hopefully see you in Australia when you come.
Oh yeah, I hope so, Stuart. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
make it a
that'd be
point.
great.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be wonderful. Wonderful.
No,
Thank you.
I'm hoping we'll when it like at the end of your summer again. Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And Softly Blossoming has their hand up.
Oh,
Softly blossoming. All right.
yeah, it's just Robert is fine. That's just because it's my email address. I haven't
Oh, there he
changed
is.
my
Softly blossoming. That's
yeah.
You could have like a toilet paper, a line of toilet paper.
Yeah,
Softly
yeah, right.
blossoming. That's nice.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it kind of sounds
See you.
spiritual. Yeah. So how, well, my first question is, does the ego get anything
Your
out
first
of-
question.
Yeah, I've got two of them. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Does the ego get anything out of awakening?
It'll sure try. That's for sure. I don't know. You'd have to ask it. I don't know.
Is it I've noticed like when I listen to your talks and other non-duality speakers talks that I feel like more peaceful and relaxed. Is that just a coincidence?
No, I don't feel so. I mean, something gets registered there where you are. Yeah, like a tuning fork, and so you get tuned to something, and it reverberates with a certain kind of measure, so to speak. Yeah, like when I heard this one of the first times, it felt like an unspoken yes. Yeah, or I felt like it was knowledge before knowledge. And it really put a lot of like agitated extremities just chilled out. Yeah, just really chilled out, better than 100 lullabies, just hearing the message. So I think there's quite a lot of power involved in it.
I feel
do.
the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom can't even stop it, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. My next question was, how do you stay motivated after you see that that everything's it's just happening, it's just
Yes.
whatever.
Well, a lot of people go through a phase where they're not motivated at all because there was a lot of mining identification with what you were interested in. So when that changes, it affects, self-central in a way. And some fear flags usually go up. And but it's just a phase. Things get reshuffled and yeah. Yeah. So that I feel in a way it has to happen because if you want to call it a change, something comes to pass through loss of interest. Yeah. So the interest has to be withdrawn from things and then redistributed. Yes. So, I mean, a lot of people there may be a strong mental reaction to the withdrawing of things, but then if you can hold your, imaginary tongue and see what happens, there'll be a joy about it. Yeah. Yeah. You can't bring about what gets brought about because your head has a fixed logic, and it doesn't work with this kind of math, so to speak. Yeah. Where the primary number is 0, not 1 or 2, but 0. So you realize the futility or the failure of the system, and then you get a joy watching something work. Yeah. Yeah. So you have eyes that see things that you really would want to see but could never do. Now you can see. Yeah. Because you gave up the idea of who that was who really wanted to see. Yeah. So to me, the liberation is from the need to be liberated. It's not liberation you're after.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a loss of interest. And then there's a lot of gaining interest, but that's intimately going to be how this softly blossoming event will show itself. Yeah. And there'll be an intimacy with that which can't be felt, touched, tasted, or seen, but there'll be such a strong sense of it. Yeah. That presence, let's say. Yeah. So I hope you keep coming back, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will, for sure. Thank you.
Good.
Um,
Oh, this is your third question now.
yeah, something came up, but I've forgotten
This
it
is
now.
your last
so-
one for the year now. 2000. There's only 3 for the whole year.
Right,
Spend
you
them
get
wisely.
3 wishes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It felt really important before I forgot what it was.
There you go.
Yeah, is it kind of like you're deriving your well-being from like within or from just nothing at all? You're just well-being for the sake of it.
Of course. If there's a well-being for the action figure, and to me, the most important word in that affair is enough. Yeah. The action figure can hit a point where it's enough, and they're basically, all right, move over or move to something else. And then the well-being in and of where you're at is really what you've been looking for out here. So instead of looking for it, you may be seeking an expression of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's changed. Your consumerism changes greatly. You're not trying to acquire a quality that's inherent in what we are. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta buy a bill of goods to try to acquire what is a quality that is inherent. Yeah. This is the magic trick of duality, really. That you're looking for what's looking. You're using what's looking to look for what's looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Hopefully satsang's sufficient to really bring these understandings into a stark contrast, so that, because not all the trees have to be knocked down to see the space, just a few of them, and then you'll see the space while the trees are also appearing in it. The trees will not be an impediment to seeing the space. Yeah. But there's a few trees that may have to fall before that becomes readily available.
Yeah.
But when it is, it's always been that way. It's a weird thing. Eh?
Yeah, I feel like I can see the space. Like I have a sense of spaciousness around my thoughts and emotions. But it's kind of confusing because I've heard some non-duality speakers say that anything that the ego sees isn't like it isn't important, but it feels like the space isn't something that the ego sees, it's just something that's there.
Yeah, the ego doesn't see shit. The ego doesn't see. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else. I don't know what they mean when they say ego. But to me, ego isn't like a mental objectification of some processes. that we say represent us. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't see it as the ego doesn't have any ability to see shit. It's more like an emblem on the hood of a car, so to speak. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's a really good analogy.
I don't see it as a sentient movement or a conscious movement. It's yeah. So, but hey, I don't know the context people are sharing or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
So,
Yeah,
but if you come here, you're going to get, cod here, COD. I don't got any other fish to sell.
that's all right. That's my favorite kind of fish.
And I don't see the other fishmongers. I don't check them out. I try to
Yeah.
stay away from them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So it can be, hey, this was caught, here, not in Chile. So I can have it in the summer. It's here. Cod. So. But yeah, that thing is, find people you like that share, but don't overdo it, because I think you can overdo it by hearing the message in too many ways that then you don't hear it at all. It's just weird because it gets into a dualistic comparison and you lose the whole message of it. Yeah. Which is you are what you're looking for. Yeah. So, yeah. It's a weird thing. I spoke to another person today, and in most groups, the only one who's monogamous is the teacher, or is the person delivering the message. Everyone else is seeing other people constantly.
Yeah, yeah, like other
Very
teachers.
weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I've been cheated on beyond a credible amount.
I'm sorry to hear that.
All right, bro. Thank you.
All right.
See you
Thank
soon.
you. Ciao. See you soon.
Yep.
And
I
Mike
guess I'll
A
jump in
has
here.
his hand up.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any other teachers right now, Paul. So it's just you and me.
I don't care anyway. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. I was at Paul's. I was at the meeting that was freezing cold a few weeks ago because we got stuck. We couldn't do it inside the church or whatever because they were there, and it was really windy and cold. It was pretty miserable. And there was out of town people to see Paul too, and it was like, oh man. But I was just going to say, we go after the talks, the Saturday talks. We'll all go out to a cafe, and we'll just all have coffee, and it's so cool. We usually just talk about movies and travel and coffee or whatever. But then if somebody brings up one of these spiritual questions, we'll go into that and we'll talk about that for a while. And then it's just cool how the conversation kind of weaves in and out. And I really enjoy, I enjoy those, the fellowshipping afterwards. That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things, if like someone's the inviter and then there's the invitees, for the inviter to seem to be very pronounced, it has to be not available, yeah, and exclusive. Yeah, so by basically going to coffee and going to dinner and everything, all of these ideas that can come up when you only see the person for those 30 minutes get dissipated quickly. It's usually, the way I explain it is, they come in, they're taking me to lunch. After a week or two, no more lunch, maybe a coffee. After a few more weeks, I'm buying my own coffee. But it
yeah, it really, it normalizes it all. And I remember those people from out of town, they were in town to see Rupert Spira. They were cheating on him.
I know.
To go to yours, which was pretty funny.
I called Rupert and I told him. Yeah. I gave
No, we were actually coming to see Paul. Rupert was the excuse.
I sent pictures of them all to that.
But you're right. It would be kind of hard to picture like just going to a Rupert Spira talk and then, oh yeah, let's go get coffee with 4 or 5 people and just chatting, it's almost like it would be hard to see that happening. I doubt that he does that. Maybe he does. I don't know. I don't know anything
Well,
about
it
it.
doesn't matter, Mike. See, there's a lot of value in unpopularity. It's very good. It's a very good condition. Yeah. Yeah. There's no demands. You don't have to play to any audience. You just show up, put out the card. There you go.
You can make fun of people's screen names. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. There's nothing happening. Yeah. I'm fucking I don't have a nasty bone in my body, really. I just joke like if I do. Yeah. Nice to see you, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for doing these things.
And yes, you're welcome, bro. Happy to see you. Hopefully I'll see you Saturday. All right, anyone else? Anyone else? Who's running the show here?
No one else. Oh wait, Grateful Dave.
Grateful Dave, man.
Hey, what's up, Paul?
Nice to see.
Yeah, I've been cheating on you a little bit. I had to get a little more non-duality in my life. There's some really nice, soft-spoken girls you can listen to. They'll just put you right to sleep at night. So, but the question I got, it just keeps coming up in my head. So, I'm in the AA program, right? So I came to you through the 12-step stuff, and here I am, like, not doing. But I got all this shit that my sponsors telling me I got to do. And, I got these prayers I got to say in the morning to a God that's me, I guess. It just seems fucking convoluted. I'm a little lost with it all, how do you do not doing? And then what are these prayers? What are these prayers for? These are for the self. This is for the action figure,
No,
right?
it could be like it could be like a song for you to sing, like in the shower. Seriously, and the idea of no doing is not the absence of doing. It's the absence of the doer while doing. That's all. And the fact is, the absence of the doer is completely always available at all times because there is no doer to be present. There's just doing. Yeah. So you start when you're in Rome, you wear like the Romans wear. Yeah. That's all. Yeah. That's how I can see it. But the head is always trying to find division and shit like that. It's okay. The action figure does what it does based on its ceiling, and then there can be a large amount of space that is what we are finding a large amount of acceptance for that action figure. Yeah, that was one of the beautiful things was when the Urban Renewal Project got canceled, when I saw the action figure not from the action figure, and it was just I was flooded with something. Was no need to even to put a name on it. But after a few months, I realized that's acceptance. Yeah. It finally had arrived in an atmosphere of acceptance by seeing I'm not that really. That's the best way I can treat it. So, a lot of people want to replace, simple things they do that produce relief with an abstract absolute relief, and they're fucking very cranky and irritable, restless, and discontent. Just do the fucking shit.
Yeah. So I guess that's the bigger thought, like, is am I working on this? The action figure I got is a pain in the ass. Am I still trying to work on that and make it a little bit better?
Well, in recovery, the work on that isn't done by you. You do work, and then something else does the work on you. It's almost like you are sent around the corner for half an hour, and that's when the work happens to you. You're not doing the work. You're doing something to allow the work to happen. Yeah, because this is a different spirit in the action figure world. This is a reliance on a higher power. activity, not a self-reliance activity. I'm not trying to get better. I'm just following suggestions, and they're working. I'm not drinking and using, and while that's going on, I'm getting relief from the underlying causes and conditions. Yes? But it's very, very clear I'm not doing shit. I'm going here and this and that. But basically, it's really a distracting activity to get you out of the picture, so to speak. So then the artist can finish the painting, yeah, without your instruction and direction. That's how I see it. So I don't find anything about. I don't have any clashing with the world of the action figure and then the context of what we are. Yeah, I don't see. They're not antagonistic. They could be seen that way as from the action figure, but you're not the action figure. And from what we are, I don't see it. There's no vanquishing or fighting, or I don't need to do anything. I'm absolutely what I've always been looking for. Yes, that's true. And fucking pick up the garbage, Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was just the thought that these acts are reinforcing the separation, like it's like you sort of said, like with meditation, like you go to sit to meditate, now you're meditating. Now I go to sit to pray to a God that is me, and then I'm creating duality or something. I don't know,
But you're not. So when you do that, just ask who it is, because there's someone that has a very strong opinion, yeah, about it, and it's not you. So just, hey, you're in Rome, sing like the Romans. Hey, when I'm in Rome with my gal in Italy, you don't mix plates. Yeah, you get one plate. You don't have, and you don't get the salad first. It comes at the end. Yeah, but I did what the Romans do. You're going to be in there for 2 hours for a dinner. There's going to be a lot of false flag chows when you think it's over, and then it just keeps going. So So the whole day revolves around the lunch and the dinner. That's it. I could have fought that. What the hell? I could be doing so much more with my time. But hey, you're in Rome. Do as the Romans do. Literally. Yeah. I had so much fun, and I've come to honor. It's weird, I'm going off on something, but I know everything is now, but then there's a feeling of what was before, and I had a lot of programs and opinions about a lot of shit I had no knowledge of. Yeah. So when I grew up in New York, a lot of people weren't seen in a good light, a lot of ethnicities. Yeah. And it was amazing how close-minded, you can be. And it's been a joy to open up to the culture of Italy. My girlfriend's from Italy. And man, when I was growing up, we had a lot of Italians and Irish and a sprinkling of Polish people. That was it. Yeah. And there was a lot of opinions about each other. And I thought I was having them. Yeah. And to see through them and appreciate. Yeah. I love this whole message because what truly gets liberated is the action figure. We are already awake. There's just so much mental weight that the action figure is saddled with, taking it, presented as this long-lasting, independent, separate thing. It is such a huge relief when that just becomes an activity amongst tons of other activities. Yes. Yeah. So I don't know why I went there, but I just there's a statement in recovery, contempt prior to investigation. So just do what's suggested, see what happens. Yeah.
Will do. Thanks, Paul.
And you can rest assured you're a lifetime member of ZenBitchSlap.com. There you go. No dues or fees or any kind of behavior. You're in.
Hey, Paul, Judy has her hand up.
Who?
Judy.
Judy G. Yes.
Paul, I still don't get it. So maybe that's okay because you say it's okay not to get things. So I feel okay.
Completely. Probably the best thing you cannot do today.
Okay, but I'm still going to ask the question.
All right.
What's the difference? How would you describe, because consciousness, the difference in awareness and consciousness?
I don't know, hon. I think consciousness is quite affiliated with what it's moving through in a lot of ways.
Moving through what?
Let's say the camera called a bird, and the camera called a dog, and the camera called a human. Yes?
Yes.
So demonstration of consciousness in a lot of ways can be defined as the thing it's moving through. Yes?
No.
No? Let's say a bird. A bird, yeah, let's say a bird or some creatures, they have more than 7 or 8 or something sense gates, which we have 5. So their consciousness is opening up to a lot more information in a sense. Yes?
I get that.
Yes. So now awareness, and this is just made up, to tell you the truth. I don't really see any difference, but let's say awareness is the space that everything appears in. Yeah. And it's a space with no appearance. It's just, that's it. Yes. Incomprehensible, indescribable, unable to know, which we just try to describe it right now. But I would say awareness is the context, yes, of all. And then consciousness is a movement affiliated with content. Yeah. So we are conscious of things. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. I may have different meaning tomorrow, but let's try
No,
that.
but you have something in your book. I'm going to go over it again.
Oh, do I say it in the book? Oh, yeah.
I just know how to interpret it. I don't know much anything anyway, so I just keep coming.
Yeah, just keep coming, honey. And hopefully you'll be traveling lighter. And
I already can feel it. Not a lot.
And so what a wise investment that doesn't ask for much.
Right.
Yeah. And we hopefully throw a little bit of entertainment in it. So yeah.
You have the most contagious laugh, and I just have to laugh when you laugh.
There you go. Well, I better start laughing again.
So remarkable. No, many people have told you that.
Well, it's funny, honey. It's funny. Relief, profound relief from imaginary weight incites laughing, I'd say.
Oh, that's a great explanation.
What?
I love that.
Yes. Yeah. So good to see you, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining it.
Well, yeah, don't take it, it's all bullshit, really. Who knows? Yeah, really. And it doesn't matter anyway.
I feel so safe with you, Paul.
Hmm?
I feel safe. No judgments, no anything.
Well, great. That's probably from the people that are here. That's great, Judy. Well, we're in this boat together, yeah? Why not? You give a lot to us. Everyone here gives a lot to this event. So, yeah. All right. Anyone else?
Hi, Paul. So I had an
Robert, can you wait just a second?
Oh,
Ashley
yeah,
had her
sorry.
hand up. She has a question.
Sorry.
All
You'll
right,
be
Ashley.
Hey, Paul.
Hey,
Ashley.
Ashley, how are you?
I feel, better than the last time we talked, maybe a few weeks ago. So that's good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to throw out what's kind of, I'm loving the talk. I'm chilling. I just feel like what keeps coming up for me as a distraction, pulling me into neuroses, is when you say things like, your life becoming a service of something greater, and I get like, oh, am I doing something in my life? Is this activity gonna like mess me up? And as you know, when I first met you, I was doing energy healing, and I'm not doing that professionally anymore. I still do some of it, but where life has taken me as a side gig, I have these things, and it did feel like there was a flow to it, but it's very much concretized around, it's commercial acting and modeling, which is very much like me being an individual self and actually having to really identify. And I know that like, there's actually a level of unidentification that you have to do that freely. So I know I'm getting in my head about it, but I'm just like, I'm this course I have to start tomorrow, and I'm just like, how am I gonna do
Well,
this?
you're not. That's the good news. You can take the pressure off. You're not, and you'll be led to a result or a consequence through that dance. Yeah, but you're not going to pull it off.
Result or consequence?
Hmm?
What do you mean a result or a consequence?
Yeah, I mean something will happen, but you're not in the outcome business. You're going to respond to the outcome. Yeah. I can't make the outcome up. I can hope it's going to be something or expect it to be something, but life has a lot of laughs when that happens. So we say it in AA recovery, you're not cut out to be in the outcome business. All you do is suit up and show up. And you're not there now. So now enjoy whatever's going on, and then you'll have the wits about you to deal with there when it's here. Yeah. But there isn't here now. Yeah. 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 This is one of the things that happens in just basic recovery is you learn that you can face life successfully by facing life. You show up, and you show up not having a clue what to do or how it's going to work, and it works. And then hopefully you come to believe something is doing for you what you can't do for yourself. Yeah. And so that which you're not doesn't have to fret about not being able to pull it off. It lives in the admittance it can't pull it off. Yeah. That's where the relief lies.
I just find for me, it's been difficult, like doing energy work and body work. There's obviously thought and body involved in that, but to me, it was like a space where I was more directly channeling and being super involved in like life that involves like a high level of cognition, which has been more my life the last few years. It's like I have a thing where it's harder to feel, I don't know, opportunity. It's just, it's more I don't know, it's
well, if you do energy work, you gotta clear yourself out after events. You can't let a lot of energy move through you. Because you don't know what gets caught or not. So I remember early on, I used to do massage, when I was young. And I was at this spiritual festival in Houston and at the Astrodome. So there was 30,000 people there, and I was massaging people day in and day out. And on the last day, the guru was going to come. The last day I got sick out of every orifice to the point I had soiled my pants. I couldn't get back to the hotel room to change before the guru came. So I had to wear a white sheet around my my lower thing with my earth shoes and go out into the audience to listen to the guru. And I learned something. I gotta clear shit out after I work on people.
You know, I don't do that anymore, though. I don't do it because of that reason.
But I'm just saying,
Pardon?
if you have a desire to go back to that or something, it's important.
I don't really.
Well, there you go. So what were we talking about? About going to this other thing tomorrow?
Like having very identified cognitive, emotional, concentrated faculties online, while also having a abiding experience as the space, like looking through your own eyes. To me, that felt like it was more present when I was doing energy work and involved in more of those kinds of activities, versus now where, you know, I like graduate school and now this like other profession where it's the focus is on me as an individual doing individual things. Like I have to memorize things tonight, which it's just like when you say people cheating on you with different gurus, like I'm involved in these activities, but also like other spheres where this would not be on the periphery at all. And I'm very spread out, not, you know, and
Let me jump in one thing here first. Let me jump into one thing here. I was joking about the teachers, like being cheated upon with other teachers. That's a complete skit. That isn't an experience, yeah, first of all. The thing with, I don't know what you're getting at with what's the concern that when you were doing energetic work, it seemed more obvious. And now you're doing something else that seems quite different. But the bottom line is underneath both of those. It's not up here. Yeah? It's underneath both. The basis of what you are is the cradle that holds both things. It's not on an experiential level. It's underneath. It's the girding.
I know that.
It's the holding. So resting there, you
I
have
know
the...
that.
Yeah. Well, then I don't understand where we were getting to. What's the question?
That in a satsang, or if you're in, it's easier to see that in a satsang or when you're in a healing environment versus these very
Sure, yes.
other concentrated life experiences.
Yes, it can be. It can be. It's not necessarily it's not the truth, but it can be. Yes. Yeah. There's things sort of like when I'm feeding the hummingbirds. When I'm feeding the hummingbirds, it may seem to be more available than when I'm picking up the shit. Yeah. Yes. But this is what happens in seed assignments. Certain seed assignments at certain times during the day has you being completely engaged with people who have no interest other than the bottom line, let's say. Other times you're walking around the compound enjoying the space and the chimes. Yeah. But that one thing isn't bringing you closer or farther away. You can't be close or far away from what's everywhere. Yeah. So this is what occurs. The great equalizer isn't here. It's here. Yeah. It's not here. Here is always unequal. It's always this and that. It's a dualistic expression. The underlying girding is what we rest in. Yeah. If you want to find rest in that, and by doing this you don't, then try to change your employment. But the fact is, and it may work on that level, but the real rest is not coming from here. It's coming from underneath, so to speak. It's not underneath, but I'm attempting to imply something. Yeah. So there's a knowing of something that's not in the business of knowing and not knowing. It's underneath. Yeah. So this is your seat assignment. Suit up and show up and let go of the results. See what happens. And if it doesn't work for you,
Yeah, I just
have the faith you'll be
wrong
taken
decision.
care of and do something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times when I had
It's just a judgment that I,
Go ahead.
it's the neurosis is that did I basically, am I forcing a seat assignment to keep the egoic drives going? And I feel like I've made this mistake.
No, I don't think,
in
no.
signing up for this.
No, whatever's doing that isn't you. So you're not out to get yourself. There's just mental activities that are greedy and gluttonous. Yeah, they have, it's just a programming. It hasn't, there's
How
no
do you
personal
discern?
attention.
How do you discern?
Hmm?
How do you
By
discern
making
if it's
mistakes
if
and
it's a
trying to
glutton?
discern it. By making mistakes. Discern away,
Okay.
and then the proof will be in the pudding. And that's how you learn to discern, is by discerning. Yeah. You can make a mistake. The space is big enough for that. So, hey, I thought I was relying on something, and it was proven I was relying on self. How did you get to that? By seemingly making a mistake. That was a success because you realized how failed the system is. Yeah. You're not going to know before you jump in. You jump in and then you'll find out. Yeah. It's like a simple thing in recovery as an action figure. My life has been putting my foot out and then a stair appears. I don't wait for a stair to be guaranteed. I just put my foot out and a stair appears. Every trip I've ever gone on, I bought the ticket first. I never thought of the trip. I would buy a ticket and then I'd go on the trip. What was vying for, it's either go on a trip or do this. No, usually both things could happen. Yeah. And over time, I realized the way the head looks is very, very exclusive. It's either or, where there's another view of inclusiveness and it's win-win. Yeah. So I can do this and I can also do that. I can surf and work. It's not like I'm going to surf or work. No, I can surf and work. Yes. This I learned by following the cues that life offered. Yeah. I put my leg out. Hey, I'm going to take a chance. Something showed up and supported it. That's how it worked. Yeah. I didn't wait to know. I found out. Yeah. Yeah. See, waiting to know, there's a knowing already there. You think something's not going to work. That's why you're not attempting any effort. That's a knowing already. So when people say, I'm confused, they're not. They know something that they don't want to know. They know something already, but their head doesn't want to know that, so it can do its little number. So if you sit quietly, you can feel it's there. No one's confused. Sometimes they want to hear the message to get permission from somebody else, yeah? But they know something's dead, a relationship or shit like that they don't want to know it. Maybe because their livelihood is based on that relationship, or where they live is based on that. So it doesn't behoove them as the action figure seemingly to know that. So they're talking to everyone. I'm confused and shit, but they're not. They just know something they don't want to know because it's going against other agendas. Yeah? Yeah. If you can stop, I mean, the truth is there. It always is. Yeah. So yeah, I gotta go, Ashley. We gotta go. But listen, yeah, I would imagine that everyone that knows you has a higher evaluation of you than you do. Yeah. In this, sometimes it's good to take the crowdsource message. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of dancing to the tune the head wants to keep playing. It may be old, you know, maybe it's like a dead horse. It's time to get up. Yeah. I remember in the beginning of giving talks when I was younger, at recovery meetings, man, I had people attack my face, the image of me, where my image, I saw the evolution of a grape to a raisin in like a second. I mean, people were like really mad at me hearing different news. Yeah, man. And it was amazing that I had no idea what to say or how to respond, yet there would be a response and it would all fucking work out beautifully. Because I never took the role of the choreographer. All I was the dancer. Yes? Yeah. And you learn from doing it. That's what. You learn what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. You can't know. Yeah. You learn. So if you feel like you're taken care of, act like it. Yeah. Yes. All right. Thank you. Anyone else? I think we've gone over our time.
Yeah, you can wrap it up. You can say goodbye.
Oh, that's
I love
nice.
it when you do that.
Yeah, I like the goodbyes too. Connie, there she is. Connie P. We got Stewart from Oz. We got us, Kathleen. Nice to see you, honey. We got Michael S., one of my best Zoom friends. Yeah. We got Eileen, a little home girl from Long Island. We got Grateful Dave. Nice to see you, Grateful Dave. Yes. Dawn O, as always. Oh, Beverly. Beverly's made an appearance. I haven't seen Beverly in a while. Nice to see you, Beverly. Thank you for making my day. We got Robert, the softly blossoming Robert. Yeah. There's Mike A. Nice to meet you, Mike. Once again, as always. George, yeah, he's taken a vow of silence, only to be broken once every 4 months. We got Angie. Angie is. I appreciate Angie sticking with me. It's nice. Nice to see you, Angie. Yes. Ann B, wherever you are, it's a nice picture. Somebody stealing a dog. We got Jacqueline. She's in her little cabin of concrete awareness. Yes. Susan, Lucas P, another Susan. I can't see anyone else. Hey, thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure to come and spend a little time here. Yeah. We're going to have a retreat in June, I think. I have to wake up and tell myself yes every day. I got to start reminding myself here. It would be a quite interesting event. It's funny. The message is not of time, but in time, a momentum occurs, which is pretty cool. I used to do 4 days in Toronto. Ashley remembers. I do a Thursday night, a Friday night, 2 on Sunday, 2 on Saturday. And I'd have to begrudgingly admit there would things, cathartic events would occur. Shit would happen. So don't miss out. Maybe we can go on a tour and see the inside of Jacqueline's cabin. Who knows? It may be the first thing we do that day. All right. See everyone. I'll see you, Angie, soon, and everybody. Yes. Bye-bye. Thanks, Saina.